people don't understand about the red pill is that it works. Just hear me out. Men who were not getting play, who then learned about the red pill, implemented the tactics, and then started getting play. Because the main thing that the red pill teaches men is how to move in a more avoidant fashion. It's essentially taking men and making them more avoidant. All of the tactics, all of the push-pull, hot-cold behavior, that's all avoidant shit. And when I say it works on anxious women. It also works on damaged women.
But my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality.
Fuck how you feel, homie. We all know that red pill content creates incel. We all know this shit. This is not something that's hidden under a rock. We all know that a lot of men who ingest that red pill bullshit are incels. And for the people that keep telling me that red pill was not intended for this, the original red pill was not like this, please shut the fuck up. Doesn't matter what it was intended to be. Look at what it is now. Look at what it's done. You understand what I'm saying? Look how these men are emotionally unstable. They're dangerous. You can have a conversation with these red pill demons without them being triggered by something. They're always triggered by something on the internet. They're in these comments arguing with these women. They see a random girl. You know what I'm saying? In the comments, if she looks too pretty, if she's half dressed, whatever, they're in the comments arguing. Nobody's gonna want you in 10 years. Just triggered by shit. Something is wrong with them. And then the older men, like the older men that's like mid 30s, late 40s, 50s, something is completely wrong with them. There's so many of them in that space. You know what I'm saying? So many men that have really taken on this red pill and it has really destroyed y'all. Y'all are fucked up. And then y'all are hypocrites because y'all are the ones paying for the OF models. Y'all are the ones buying hoes. Y'all are the ones buying sex. It is you guys. But for a group of men that just don't like promiscuous activity, y'all don't fuck with that shit at all. Y'all sure do fund that shit so much. Y'all put a lot of your hard-earned money into that industry. Y'all idolize women way too much. Your whole movement as far as red pill from when it started to now, I don't give a fuck, has been about women. It has been about women since the beginning because lame ass motherfuckers couldn't get them. Mm-hmm. So it's been the same thing. And the reason why it's so funny is because it still ain't working. The method that the red pill motherfuckers came up with is still not working. If you fuck with some of the shit they saying, you're a cornball. If you're red pill adjacent, you're a cornball. If you just happen to be in red pill spaces, you're a cornball. Doesn't matter. The shit just is not player at all. That's why, like, the shit just don't make sense. So for all you motherfuckers who really want to glow up, like, you got to get out those red pill spaces. They are fucking up your mind.
Never ever listen to red pill if you're a man. Stay away from that.
No, that's a fact. I never really listened to the red pill podcast or whatever the fuck they talking about. All I know is that there is a subset of men out here that literally don't like women. They just don't like them. I seen something the other day where he said you have to have, and it might be in here. It said you have to have at least 50 bodies in order to have a long-lasting relationship. If that's not the most insecure shit I ever heard, you have to have 50 bodies. You have to make at least 100 grand. You have to have a 6 months to a year salary. 6 months to a year savings for your shit. So you already planning the trick. And then you know you can't, you're not the man.
That industry, it's going to ruin you and your life and your future forever. And the craziest thing is there was a point in time where me and a lot of people I know used to follow this red pill stuff until I actually grew a pair of balls. Only a real man and only a real father or husband, right, can actually look after their family, maintain their masculinity and have everything in check. Understanding that your woman has a role in your life and that they are actually not a burden on you. And of course, you have to be able to pick the right woman. I'm someone who's been married and I've got a child now, alhamdulillah, right? And one thing I can tell you, the right partner will make your life so much easier. And this red pill nonsense makes you look at women as if they're objects politics, etc. I'm not making this video to say, oh look, he's just doing it for the women. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm married, I have a child, I'm happy. But this is for a lot of young people that look at women a different way. Yes, the wrong woman can absolutely ruin your life, and I stand by that 100%. But you boys need to pick better women, and by that I mean improving yourself. If you're not a type of person that can attract the woman that you want, how can you get the woman that you want?
That's a fact. If you want more money, work on yourself. If you want more women, work on yourself. If you want more opportunities, work on yourself. You have to be prepared so you don't have to get prepared. When them type of situations pop up, when you just out at the supermarket or you out with your homies and you have no idea what to do when approaching a woman or a woman approach you, that just means you have to work on yourself more. How do you feel when you talk to people? Forget talking to, how do you feel when you talk to people?
To be standing by your side for the rest of your life, to look after your children, to take care of you and each other. And trust me, real masculinity is having a family, being a good father, being a good inspiration for just that one person and your offspring. And if you're a man who wants to learn and lead by example, be sure to follow.
No, do you remember me at all?
No.
Okay. So can I ask a quick synopsis of what you think
This is it. This is what I was talking about right here.
the prescription is for society today for men? In a short version, what do you think they should do to be successful with women?
To be successful with women,
Yeah.
okay, are we talking about like getting a girl for a long-term relationship, just to get laid? What are we talking about?
Well,
here?
I think the only reason should be for a long-term relationship and marriage. I mean, that's Jesus Christ founded it, but I'm just curious what your prescription is.
Well, I've talked about this. I think guys have to have certain things in place, right, before they want to get into a long-term relationship. It's 5 things. So I would say 100K per year, 6 figures a year, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in good shape, have at least 50 partners, right, sexual body count.
All right, and then
Bro, what? That sounds diabolical. Like,
is that the last one?
And then there's one more, but that's fine. You could go ahead and
Okay.
engage with what I've said so far.
So the reason I asked that is I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about a year and a half. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did, and it significantly damaged my life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved. Now I'm happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt...
Congratulations, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable. And they should be treated as such. Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know how to treat them? So I think...
So a question for you. You said you got out there dating and meeting women and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then you said that it kind of hurt you.
Yeah.
How did it hurt you specifically? Did you like just start? What happened specifically?
Well, I started warring against my own flesh. It's like trying to fill an empty void. Mm-hmm. There's a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man that can only be filled by God alone. Anything else you try to fill with that's not going to satisfy it. Sure. And I tried to do it with sex.
Listen, as somebody who's been a player, who's been played, who's lived the whole red pill lifestyle, I'm here to expose absolutely everything. A lot of you guys think that a lot of women are just garbage, that they're all the same, that you're never going to find love, that you're better off having a bunch of girls. And the reason I say this is because that's what I used to believe, right? When I was like 18, 19, all I cared about was just hanging out with a bunch of women. You know, I would, use them. I was just a bad person, right? Very immature. And the thing about this lifestyle is you're only going to attract people that are on your level. And you are honestly on a very low level. It's sad. It's not worth your time. Spending hours, spending a lot of time just hanging out with different type of girls, you get nowhere. What I ended up finding out was eventually you start to fall into a pattern of always meeting the same type of people, getting the same result, and ultimately it leaves you unhappy, right? And that's what was happening with me. And at first, you know, it's real easy to blame, women are all the same. They're just garbage. This is how they are. And you fall into this trap. And women do the same exact thing.
Yo, I honestly feel like, first of all, piggybacking off with the last clip with what that guy said, you really do. It's really that vacuum that he was talking about. It's never going to be filled unless you fill it with something of the higher power. When I was younger, football was my first love. Football, I used to do every single thing throughout the week to get ready for Friday or Saturday. Like all the time, go to the beach, practicing 2 times a day, putting myself through my own camp just so I could, because I never really had talent. I had hard work. So, but after the game, it's back to square one. It's directly back to square one. I have to do this all over again, all the way up until I got to college. And I thought college would give me that fulfillment. I'm like, all right, going to college. This is something that nobody in my family ever did before. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the man. I'm going to break generational curses and this and that. And I'm still doing that. Applause to me. But even after getting in college, it's like, what else? It wasn't until my junior or sophomore year in college where I started to feel like it was something beyond the physical that we needed to actually be happy. All the invisible forces, the trust, the willpower, the love, like all of them things is the only thing that really matters. With like everything that we see, when you like what I'm trying to say is like when you do finally conquer something, and now I'm putting women into play, you are never going to be fulfilled until you find that life partner, until you find that one thing that's going to feed you for the rest of your life. And usually that is God. Now, I know there's a subset of people out there that choose to be single for the rest of their life for the sake of peace. But for the people out there that want to find that one person to spend the rest of their life with, this red pill content is literally destroying you. Unless you have accountability around you, you're gonna keep falling in that void and you will never be fulfilled.
Bro, there's some women that hate men just because some guy cheated on them, bro. I don't know. They just had a bad experience, so now they hate men. And that's how I felt about women too, And this is what separates us. Everybody has, resentment and anger towards the opposite sex. It's kind of sad. But anyways, I ended up finally sitting down and realizing, if I'm getting the same exact result with different people, maybe the issue is me.
If you keep doing the same thing that you always been doing, you'll always be who you always been. Nothing changes unless you make it change. And that's something that I choose to live by. I wake up and I say that to myself every single morning.
I'll be happy that I gave everything I got, so the day that I am dying and I'm old and I'm wrinkly, I'll be able to look back and be like, I gave it all I got. A lot of you guys are so wrapped up in this superficial mindset that you got to get a bunch of women, you got to impress a bunch of people, and you're getting nowhere.
So I see you, brother. You are not invisible. Can you go? What are you doing? Go.
All right? So coming from somebody that's lived both sides, I consider myself an expert in this. I know how it is. I know the lifestyle. It's not all that. It's not worth it. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I met a lot of women. And whenever you're a garbage human being, you're going to meet people on your level. But whenever you start becoming better and stop being superficial and doing things out of vanity, you will meet higher quality people. And your life will change and you will feel way better. You'll feel more fulfilled and happier. And at the end of the day, I think that's what matters. I don't know. Y'all might disagree. Y'all might want to keep living that stupid lifestyle. I'm telling y'all, I did it. It's not worth it. I'm trying to save y'all years. I'm tired of seeing a bunch of older men too, 40, 50-year-olds with the same player mentality. It ain't it. So I hope you really paid attention, because this will change your life if you start to apply that way of thinking. Everything can happen. Good things, bad things. Roll with the punches. Life will reward you. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Can someone explain to me why the pick-me girls aren't like just naturally falling into the arms of these like whatever type podcast guys, like the guy.
They don't actually want these women. They talk all this rhetoric for their podcasts, but these kind of men actually want independent, strong-minded women. Not so they can actually better their life. No, because they want to break them down. You have to really watch these guys' movements and how they actually respond to women. These men don't want to better or help women. They want to diminish them.
Manipulative men and women, when you get into a relationship, like most of these red pill podcast guys, they see a little bit of insecurity in a woman and feed off that. Because sadly to say, a lot of people in America grew up without the proper guidance in their home. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably what these men is going through.
They want to break them down. They want these women to submit so they can humiliate these women. In my opinion, a lot of these guys have been rejected, maybe rejected by their own mothers, but they have been rejected or hurt at some point, and now they want revenge and they want to dish out pain towards women. You really got to understand, a man that wants to do right by a woman or wants to do right by his woman or women in general, he will always lead and guide to the right answer. These men try to force you to their side and kind of break your ideology down. And now you can say, oh, they just want to break delusional women. You know what? Yes, you can break down a delusional person, but you do not have to humiliate them. They try to humiliate in the process. Talking about their body count, how many people they slept with, what their education level, and this is that, and blah, 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 blah. All in all, it's about power and humiliation. And so the moment that they actually get with a strong woman, and maybe they finally do break this person down, they can then say, I have power over you. They don't want to coexist with somebody. They want power over somebody. Because at the end of the day, that will make them feel strong. That will actually make them feel like an alpha male. Like they, quote unquote, says, this, they don't understand that actually leading and guiding and protecting, that what really makes an alpha male. Their version of an alpha male is somebody who's able to dominate the next person. Stay safe out there.
You know, I realized all the guys in the Red Pill community are genuine losers. Name me any content creator within the Red Pill space and they are genuine losers. And I realized, why as a young Muslim man do I need to follow Red Pill guys when in reality Islam is the all-encompassing thing that makes me a high-value man. So when I was watching a video right now, Muhammad Hijab and Fresh and Fit, you could tell Fresh and Fit guys were intimidated by Muhammad Hijab because Muhammad Hijab is an educated guy. Fresh and Fit, their bag is to talk down on these lower class women that don't even reflect the majority of women in society, and they kind of capitalize on this with their power trip. They talk down on these women, and you young impressionable kids are watching these guys and you think, yeah man, these guys are right. You go try implement it in real life, it doesn't work. So anyways, Muhammad Hijab was on a pod with these guys, and anytime Muhammad Hijab would ask them something, these guys are shaking like the losers they are. So my point to you guys is, why on earth do you need to look towards the Red Pill community when you are a Muslim? Islam, if you were to learn the religion, you would never ever look at Red Pill. And in reality, these Red Pill guys are not even Muslims. They are kuffars, and they are not a perfect example of what a man is supposed to be like. So if you are a young Muslim brother, trust me, run as far away as you can, because that community is horrible.
You thought the Red Pill was about helping men? Wrong. It's a multi-million-dollar scam designed to keep you broke, bitter, and blindly following grifters who don't give a damn about you. They sell you the problem, then sell you the solution. But the solution is just another scam. The Red Pill pretends to be about saving men from modern society. They pretend to expose the truth. They pretend to give you real advice. But here's what they really do. They make you feel lost on purpose. They convince you that you're a low-value man if you don't have money, muscles, and women. They flood you with fear-mongering content. Every video is modern women are finished or men have no hope.
Men that's over 20, 30, 40 years old that just act like little ass kids, honestly. Because when I was little, if I could beat you, then all right, I'm tough. That's when I was little. But when you actually start to mature, like, you know, there's a such thing as mature relationships. There's a such thing as actually being your partner's friend and not their boss or their father. There's a such thing as that. And a good leader actually submits to his followers. So it's not even about throwing a hand all the time or dominating the crib. It's really just about providing everything else that's not talked about in these type of spaces, that emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Being actually a good leader, submitting to God so your wife can submit to you, whether it's God, Allah, whomever. There's a such thing of these things out there. You just are blinded because you want to stay in a little kid's mindset.
They pretend like they care about you. They act like your big brother, your mentor, your savior, but they see you as nothing but a cash cow. You feel what I'm saying? You ever notice how they never give you real actionable steps? They just repeat the same toxic talking points over and over. That's because if you actually fix your life, you will stop watching. For sure. Once they hook you in, suddenly everything that matters is members only. They be saying things like, you want the real secrets? Join my $50 a month exclusive group. Want my top tier dating game? Buy my $500 course. Want to be a truly high value man? $2,000 for a private coaching call. You feel what I'm saying, bro? What they're really doing is finessing you like a fake preacher on Sunday morning. And here's the secret tactic they use. They use fake testimonials and body counts to make it seem like so many men are improving. It's all stage. That's how they get you. The guys in their inner circle are either paid actors, their own employees are hyping them up, people desperate to be liked, lying about success. These clowns love to show off, but here's reality. Luxury cars, leased or rented. The high-rise apartments, Airbnbs. The models they with, paid escorts. The wealth, 99% comes from selling you fake dreams. And here's the super secret point. They tell you never pedestalize women, but they pay women to be in their videos. They tell you never chase women, but they hire escorts just to look cool. They don't live what they preach. And the biggest mad fuck of all, they don't actually want you to succeed. If you get fit, rich, and socially smart, you won't need them anymore. If you get a good relationship, you'll stop watching their content. If you learn the truth, they lose their power over you. So what do? They keep moving to goalposts, whatever you say it. Oh, you made 6 figures? Not enough. Real men make 7. Oh, you got a girlfriend? That's beta. Real men have rotation. Oh, you're happy? That's weak. Real men are always on the grind. See, they shame you for having normal human emotions. Being happy, that's weak. Loving a woman, that's beta. Woman and family, that's foolish. They create a cult of miserable men who hate women, hate society, and most importantly, hate themselves. And guess who profits from that? Them.
Men, you want traditional values and traditional women, but you don't want to pay the price. Traditional values, traditional women come with the full bill up front. You're not gonna go find this 22-year-old virgin that you're gonna court, and she has to prove some shit to you before you decide to buy her a meal. Her father will shoot you in the face.
Modern men have allowed the red pill to delude their minds from reality. All these ridiculous,
That took a left turn. I'm not even gonna lie.
unrealistic expectations that modern men have for women is not going to be tolerated.
As someone who's fallen into it and grown out of it, let's debunk red pill rhetoric. And yes, per usual, I have notes. She's not yours, it's just your turn. It's a common one amongst men who have gotten played in some capacity or have been cheated on. While yes, people are not possessions, I learned in therapy that people are experiences.
I just want to say that as an artist, a lot of people put me down because I do a lot of things that they can't do. Whether it's in the music space, being creative, anything. People try to put you down because they either can't do what you're doing or they tried it and they just know that it's kind of far-fetched. Bruh, just because you can't do something, do not pass on to the younger generations toxic information like this. She's not yours, it's just your turn. What kind of bullshit is that?
But she chose you for a reason, family. It being your turn means you won. She likes the way you treat her, she likes the way you talk to her, she likes the way you handle her. Just be in the experience. It's really that simple. Here's another one. Women are materialistic gold diggers. Some. Emphasis on some. However, on the flip side, there are women who require, demand, and deserve depth. Money is not the most important thing in a relationship, and I don't know when and where we got as a society to where that has been the standard, because it's not true. I've also noticed that red pill is pro-hedonism. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. There's not a single universe where juggling multiple women, being in sexual relationships with multiple women, hookup culture, whatever y'all want to call it, is better than being loyal and sticking to one woman. That's propaganda I would never fall for. I don't care who is talking about it. That's just a man's way of telling you that he's trying to fill an insatiable void within himself through women, and it's really self-inflicted torture, if we're being honest. It's typically why you see some men lashing out women or developing a hate for women, because of that void and that wound that they're unable or unwilling to address. There's also great emphasis on just focusing on money for whatever reason, which again, is not the most important thing in the world. But in the context of women, after we get the money, then what? You still have to learn how to talk to women. You still have to have social skills and confidence within yourself. That all starts with internal work, therapy, meditation, a balanced diet, dating with integrity, honesty, and until work starts in here so that your reality can reflect positively out there. And yes, everyone's favorite, she has to be submissive. This goes for anybody, but y'all do realize that people would be more inclined to do what you ask and to show up the way you would like if you relinquish control. That's how energy works. Women are no different. And if we're being real, a submissive woman dominates the man. But that's a conversation y'all not ready for.
It's like painfully obvious.
Like I said before, a good leader knows that he has to submit to his followers. So if you have a woman that's willing to follow you, you have to submit. But like he said, that's another conversation. And one more thing I wanted to say about that hedonism thing. Having more than one sexual partner, bro, it's not just a physical thing. I do hope that y'all know that sex is an energy exchange. When you have sex with somebody, we can bring it to the physical, and it's still crazy because it's only 3 things that happen when you have sex. It's either a STD, a baby, or nothing. And 2 of them, depending on who you are, may not be in your favor. However, you take away, you're still not thinking about the spiritual aspect of sex. You are then latching on to that energy, that soul, whatever you want to call it. You are latching on to that, or you are inviting that toxic energy back into your life, because we only attract the things that we're on. We only attract the same energy level that we're on. That's it. So if you're out here trying to get multiple women, you're going to attract women that's trying to get multiple men. If you're out here finding women to trick on because you have to save up $100K just to have a woman, you're going to attract women that want you to spend their money solely on them, even when it doesn't benefit you. So you have to think about everything across the board when you out here. And nine times out of 10, it's just like living in the inner cities. You don't see past your block until you go to college, or until you get a job that provides you, or until you actually get a spiritual awakening to where you like, yo, what I'm looking at is not real. Like everything that I look at is not necessarily the most important things. The most important things is the invisible forces that drive this world. Like I said before, trust, willpower, love.
That like the guys who make red pill content or are mad at women who don't want to go on coffee dates have actually never been touched consensually by a woman. I don't know if you've seen women, but they're pretty amazing, pretty beautiful. They're nice. I enjoy their company. Then again, I don't have a problem getting company, so maybe that's part of it. Or I'm just like a human being who can think clearly. But at the same time, like, there's no amount of being turned down by a woman that would ever make me turn into a person who just hates their existence. I mean, like, even men who like men don't just default dislike women, just romantically. This is why I feel like there's some repressed things happening, some internal conversations that need to happen, because there's just quite literally too many women in existence for me to be taking my disdain for one bad experience and then projecting it onto every single other woman. That's why I think you guys have some other conversations that you need to be having, because it's very weird, but it's very obvious you also just have never been touched or have ever gotten the chance to consensually touch them and interact. Get over it.
Every time I see red pill niggas, you could literally just see like you was not cool in school. Like I never seen not one of them that's like you was one of them niggas and like you was like that your whole life. Like you could always tell that you was probably lame. You went to college, got your money up, and now you want to talk to girls all types of way because you might have got curved by Cassandra way back when. Like, bro, tighten up, bro.
I wonder how much of this actually also comes from insecurity. Most of it is all insecurity, because like these guys grew up with a mindset that because
Yo, bro, why son in the middle to the left look like Fat Joe?
I am a man, I need to be respected, and then they cling on to that and don't ever learn and realize that, wait a minute, you have to actually have other characteristics to be a respected man, right? You have to have other skills. You have to have, most importantly, social skills. Really, that's where it comes down to. But I feel like the
You gotta
guys
show
that
value in some way.
right, you have to, yeah, exactly. And then some of these guys, I feel like, never learned that, and then just kind of used the whole man thing as a crutch, and it's like, nope, that's it. Or the fact that they don't have those skills as a crutch, and it's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the tradition of you. I'm like, I'm a man, you must respect me.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
like, no,
easy,
that's-
bro.
Yeah,
It's
it's easy.
to
Yeah, exactly.
demand
It's easy.
respect. It's hard
Yeah.
to like actually do the work and be a good leader.
I used to be a massive red pill guy when I was younger until I realized how stupid it is. Like, when has it ever been new to anybody that bad human beings exist? Like, yes, there's some women that are going to want to use you. There's some women that don't care about you, that are superficial. Of course, that exists. That's right. However, if that exists, that means a good woman exists as well. Yet, a lot of times as well in the red pill movement, it's like, oh, guys can have multiple partners, girls can't. I just think that's stupid as well. Now, looking back at it, you can't expect to grow a fruitful tree with the rotten seed, bro. You're never going to find the right person if you're not the right person for that person. And I was always meeting the wrong type of people, and I would blame women. I'm like, that's because all women are the same. Well, no, maybe the women you attract aren't any good because you're no good. But it takes accountability to get to that point, and a lot of people do not have that. You would rather blame the world than blame yourself for attracting what it is that you dislike, because it's such a vast and massive world that good things, bad things exist. So there's no real right answer. It's up to you to attract what it is that you genuinely want. So if you want something of good quality, well, you better be good quality. But hey, it goes for men and women. A lot of you guys aren't going to listen to me because you got too much pride in your heart. But once you actually take accountability, your whole mindset will just change.
What people don't understand about the red pill is that it works. Just hear me out. A lot of people are confused as to why the movement is so popular, and it's popular for two reasons. The first reason being a lot of men are living vicariously through other men's stories online. So we're not talking about them there. We're talking about the second reason, the second category, and that is men who were not getting play, who then learned about the red pill, implemented the tactics, and then started getting play. Now the question becomes, why does that phenomenon occur? And it occurs because the main thing that the red pill teaches men is how to move in a more avoidant fashion. It's essentially taking men and making them more avoidant. All of the tactics, all the push-pull, hot, cold behavior, that's all avoidant shit. And when I say it works on anxious women. It also works on damaged women or women who had a lot of trauma. So you have anxious women who are used to a dynamic where she has to chase the man who's triggered by the avoidant behavior, and therefore he attracts women like that. So that is the problem with that philosophy, is that the men who are involved in it can't zoom out and look at the full picture and see, while I'm getting positive results, I'm getting these results with the type of women that have internal shit they got to work out. It's going to be off-putting to a psychologically healthy individual. And it's frustrating to me because there is a middle path. There is a way to move with integrity, with, moving a high trust fashion and still get positive results with the opposite sex without doing any of the damaging shit that the red pill teaches. But that kind of advice doesn't work online. So people default to extremes.